Chet Holmgren is a fantastic basketball player, but however, with that being said, some people have said some things about him and they were completely wrong. What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. Just want to drop by and say we're on the road to 100K, so if you love basketball content and you're new to this channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And without further ado, let's dive straight into this video. This guy isn't your typical high school basketball prospect, and he's very unique and different. He knows that too, I'm not just saying that, and that's why he calls himself a unicorn. Chet is a 7-foot center with handles like a point guard and a shot like a three-point shooter. It doesn't make any sense. As he was growing up, he was always regarded as one of the top players in his class, but not like he is today. Currently, when I'm making this video, and it's probably going to be that way until he graduates, he's the #1 player in his class. When he was growing up in 9th, 10th, and 11th, and even 12th grade, a lot of people did not believe in his height. Most recruiters agreed that he is a solid player, but not quite like today. Almost everybody said the same thing about his game. He's got decent handles, a decent shot, but he's too skinny and not big enough to play in the post and make it to the NBA. Or not necessarily make it to the NBA, but be a factor at the next level. What I just said wasn't even a hot take about Chet Holmgren. A lot of people agree with that. People thought when he was growing up, he was just bigger and taller than his competition, and eventually they would catch up to him and pass him. As we all know though, that is not the case, and he continues to get better every single year. Most players, when they're that tall and that skinny, they're not that athletic and they're kind of stiff, but Chet, he's way different. He doesn't have a crazy vertical leap, but he's more athletic than your average 7-footer. He doesn't look stiff when he's running out there on the court, and quite frankly, he looks almost smooth. Are his handles the best? Absolutely not, but they're good enough to get the job done. Also, to go along with that, he's not fast by any means, but he's sneaky quick. When you see a 7-foot center dribbling a basketball, you think it's an easy steal, but not so fast with Chet. If you try to steal the ball from him or even press up on him, he showed this year that he can blow by you and get an easy layup or dunk. People also thought once he did get older, people were going to outweigh him and bully him in the post, but that hasn't happened either. I don't even have to say it. We all know he's not the buffest guy on the court, but he's stronger than what he looks like. What I'm trying to say is that he can hold his own out there. Is he going to bully you down? No, but he can hold his own. And then the ultimate thing that he proved this year that really impressed NBA scouts and executives was his performance against top players. He hasn't played a ton of games this year, but his most notable one against Imani Bates gave him a huge draft stock. It's very easy for a 7-footer to look dominant in high school because he's playing against smaller people most of the time. But in this matchup against the other #1 player in the country, Imani Bates, they matched up size for size. Holmgren is a little older than Imani, but a lot of people think Imani was better than Holmgren going into that game, but at least for that game only, Chet was the way better player. Not only did he play great, he dominated Imani Bates' team. It wasn't one certain thing, he dominated from every aspect of the game. From boxing out, getting rebounds, especially blocks, and on the offensive side it was a show as well. Layups, dunks, three-pointers, his handles, however you wanted it, he gave you a bucket. He's been doing that his entire career, but the knock on him is where people are saying, oh, he's doing that against 6'2" and 6'3" players. I want to see him do it against competition. Imani Bates is more than competition. He's arguably the best player in the country, and he put on a show against him. It's not like Imani's the only great player on Ipsy Prep 2. They have a ton of great players. Look, it didn't matter who was guarding him. He was getting a bucket. And the crazy part about that statement is the fact that he's not even known for his offensive ability. Everyone just talks about his defensive presence. Going into this season, and even the previous one, for the last 2 years, people have said Imani's the best recruit regardless of the class, and he's even better than Holmgren. So far for this season, people have actually changed their minds and said Chet is the overall best player in the country regardless of the class. Did they change their minds based off of that one game solely? I don't know. Chet's been a beast in every other game this year too. There's one thing for sure though, whether people change their minds because of that game or not, people definitely after that game gave a ton of respect to Chet. I'm not going to lie, some of you already know this, but I wasn't the biggest Chet Holmgren fan going into the season, and I've never been on the hype train. I'm still not really sold on his hype 100% just yet. I want to see him do it in college and the NBA. There's one thing for sure though, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I predicted Imani to outplay him that game and outplay him this season, but Chet's proved me wrong. Every time I doubt this guy, he continues to prove why I'm wrong, and I gotta give him my respect. The only reason I didn't buy into the hype before this season was for the same reasons everyone else didn't. He's a great defensive player, I already knew that, I just didn't think he was a great offensive player. But he can be, and he's proven that so far this year. And another scary part is that he doesn't even have a good post game just yet, and I can guarantee you someone's going to work on that with him. I wouldn't say right now his three-point shooting is elite, but it's good. His mid-range pull-up is very solid, and his handles are way better than I thought, and way better than the last time I saw them. That's just the physical part about his games too. He's a very smart player mentally. I think Imani could take some notes for him, because anytime he has a smaller player on him, he never settles for a jump shot, he attacks the rim and gets to the paint. Sometimes here and there, Bates has a smaller player on him and he'll settle for a 3 when that's bailing out the defense. Chet's proved why he's not only a great defensive player this year, but he's a great offensive player, and mentally, he's ready for the next level. He's looked super impressive so far, and it only leads me to believe he's just going to continue to look that way this season. Don't get me wrong, some people were high on this kid going into this season, but now almost everybody's expecting greatness out of him. As much as I hate to say this, and I don't want to say this, I think it's time to start believing in the hype in Chet. He's a great all-around player, and he might be the next dominant center in the NBA because there's not too many centers that can shoot like him. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Mr. Holmgren, but with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.